A very good evening and thank you yet again for joining us on Uctv. This is the weekend edition and my name is Nora Osende. Every Sunday we get to highlight some of the things that are happening in our communities and significant events, not just in the Catholic Church, but in our different spheres of life, politically, socially. But today we are going to talk about a celebration that just happened today, and that is the Kampala Archdiocesan Day. This is a day that has had a vibrant celebration, and it has united Catholics from across the Kampala Archdiocese, bringing together the clergy, the religious, and the laity together to deepen their faith and build community to celebrate their shared values and heritage. Now, we have a special guest who is just going to dig into what has just happened today, and that is Mr. Nsubuga John Billy. He is the Deputy Head of Liti Kampala Archdiocese, and he tells me he's actually from Zambia Parish. That is his home parish. It's so good to see you, and it's so good to have you here today.
Thank you, Nola. Good evening to our viewers. First and foremost, I want to thank especially the people who have been at Raga, who have come for these celebrations, for having come in big number to celebrate with our Archbishop this wonderful day. Thank you for coming, and may God bless you.
Well, talk about the Kampala Archdiocesan Day. There is, people really don't get the difference. Let's start by just explaining to us the difference between an archdiocese and a diocese.
Well, wow. A diocese and a diocese is a group of churches that come together headed by the archbishop or the bishop in that sense. You can also say it is a group or a portion of people, a portion or group of people in a certain area that come together as in a church, and we can call that one a diocesan, diocesan church, because these ones are parish churches. Now we are talking about the diocese. So group of churches, call them the parishes that come together to form a diocese, or you can call it a territorial group. I mean a territorial jurisdiction of the bishop, where the bishop is given, the territory is given to the archbishop for him to shepherd. Mm-hmm. When you bring in the archdiocese, an archdiocese is just a seat of an archbishop, who an archbishop is a supervisor or becomes a supervisor of the dioceses that are in that ecclesiastical province. Mm-hmm. For instance, here in Kampala, the archdiocesan seat is here in Kampala. So that's why it is called the archdiocese. But when we are having our functions, we have them as a diocese, like any other diocese in Arua, Masaka, and so on and so forth. So here in Kampala, we have 5 dioceses that make up the ecclesiastical province of Kampala. And the ecclesiastical province of Kampala is headed by the archbishop. So that's why here we call him the archbishop, not only a bishop, but the archbishop, because he supervises all the other parishes, the other dioceses here in the ecclesiastical province. So that is the difference between the archdiocese and the diocese.
Very nice, very nice. That's a very, very elaborate explanation. Now let's just get into what has happened today. Today we have had a celebration, that's the Kampala Archdiocesan Day. Some people can't help but wonder what exactly is an Archdiocesan Day. Just let's start with what that is and the purpose of it.
Yes, thank you very much, Nora. The Diocesan Day or the Archdiocesan Day, in the case of Kampala here, is when we, the people, the lay faithful, the clergy, the religious, gather or come together in unity to our archbishop to celebrate with him a number of things, to hear from him, to be entertained, and many other things that we do there. First of all, as we gather to have mass, for instance, now like the one that we have had in our celebrations, we first had mass, and that mass was led by our Archbishop. It can be led by some other person that if he wishes so, but it is led by our Archbishop. The reason here is one, that we come together as a unity of or one people of Kampala Archdiocese before our bishop or before our Archbishop, to celebrate with him the achievements, to celebrate with him what we have gone through, to look at the challenges and also find solutions over them. Secondly, when we gather, this is the time we come to know what is transpiring at the archdiocesan level. You see, the church is a bit hierarchical. What we have come to, we can always get that on our social medias, we can always get it from our parish priests and other clergy. But this very day, we come together to look at a number of things, to be told a number of things that we, as we are energized for another coming year, we are being told by from the horse's mouth, and who is the Archbishop. Sometimes even there are letters that are written to us, that is when they are revealed. Sometimes there are even other activities that are going to come in the next year. That day, they help us to inform us and prepare very well in the forward as time goes forward. Mm-hmm. Then also, it is the time we come to get the reports. Reports are made from parishes and sub-parishes, but these reports are gathered together in one document, and that document is read to us at the Archdiocesan Day. Why is it read to us? It is read to us to understand what is happening. For instance, if I'm only in Zambia here, I don't know what is happening in Kiziba. I can only come to know what is happening in our diocese by reading or hearing that report. So we come to hear the report, the achievements, what we have done good, what we have done bad, what are our challenges, and find also solutions. Yes.
Yes, I think that there is a lot that happens just beyond the celebrations. You have hinted on how this fosters unity. It's a way of accountability, really, from the different dioceses.
Yeah, sure, that is very right. Because like I've just talked about Mass, then I talked about the reports and whatever. There's also entertainment. The accountability really you're trying to talk about is mostly seen in the report.
Yes.
That we give to the Sabasumba. We usually give these reports earlier, and then they are put together, because you may find that there are challenges, there are many challenges around, but the challenges are the same. So we find a way of writing a report that is not as big as the Archdiocese you may see. So then there are other activities that happen on this day.
Yes.
That is the March Past.
Yes.
Now we are going, as you saw, we had the March Past.
Yes.
And it was really vibrant. Why do we have these March Pasts? Sometimes you may find that it is a wastage of time. But these March Pasts are very crucial to our believers. How? Most of our parishioners don't usually see the Archbishop. But now when they come around and see the Archbishop, for instance, when they are doing their march past and see the Archbishop 4 steps away from where they are marching from, they really feel good. They really dance. They even can carry, in this case, they carry an envelope. What is in that envelope? In that envelope, there can be money. Mostly we want envelopes, because you see, when the Sabasumba wants to help out other people, he knows the needs more than we do. So you just bring an envelope in form of money, and then you hand it over to him to thank him for what he has done, and also to ask him to continue helping the vulnerable out there, and then dance for him, and then continue. After then, like you saw, they went and had lunch. That is also entertainment. You see, in Africa here, You see, when you are celebrating and you don't have something to eat or drink, then that is not a celebration. So
Surely.
we cater for all such. And it is the Sabasumba who caters for all that. Yes, because he's the one who invites us there. Yeah.
Do we know, can we talk about where this tradition stems from?
Yeah, when, for instance, when we start with the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary, Raga Cathedral,
Yes.
it was consecrated on 31st October in 1925 by Bishop Spencer, and then he dedicated that church to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary. That's why it is called Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary, Raga Cathedral. So now, we also came to understand that during that time when, and since it is the seat of the Archbishop, the Archbishop then decided, or the people then decided, that we should have our Archdiocesan Day towards that day. So whenever we have a Sunday that is just next to 31st, that is the day we celebrate our Archdiocesan Day. So it started way back when we are celebrating, we first celebrated the annual, then it continued on up to now, celebrating the annual Archdiocesan Day at Raga around that time. You may even ask, why is it around that time? So I've just explained.
Yes.
It has to be just next to that day that was dedicated to Raga, that was dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary. And
now that you brought in the name of Raga, I think you'll help us to explain this, expound a little more on the difference between the Raga, you know, the Raga we all know, and the Kampala Archdiocese, because some people actually get mistaken, and you find that there is a little bit of confusion when it comes to the names there.
Raga is a hill, and it is a place where the administrative structure of the Kampala Archdiocese sits. And it is also where we find the cathedral. That hill is called Raga. But the name of the Archdiocese is Kampala Archdiocese. How did that come? It is a long story, but I can only give you an example. When these two dioceses were joined, the one of Kampala and the one that had, the one of Raga, they picked one name from each of these dioceses. In Zambia there, that is where the seat of Kampala diocese was. They picked the name Kampala, and also here in Raga they picked the name Archdiocese. And they added those names to name our first Archdiocese of Kampala. So it became Kampala Archdiocese. Today, in fact, these celebrations we have just had, it is the 58th anniversary of Kampala Archdiocese, of the emerge of Kampala Archdiocese. Yes, so that's where, that's the difference. The other one is, yes, it is Raga, it is the seat of the bishop, and also the administrative offices. That's why it is more known than even Kampala itself. But the name of the Archdiocese is called Kampala Archdiocese. And I told you, it is called an Archdiocese because it is the seat also of the Archbishop, of which Archbishop is a supervisor of a territory. This time the territory is the ecclesiastical province of Kampala.
Very well stated. Thank you. You've cleared that very well. Let's go back to what just happened today, the Kampala Archdiocesan Day, and how that is significant to the lives of the laity, especially the spiritual lives of the laity in the Archdiocese. Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier on, that the reason as to why we come to such an important day is for unity with our Archbishop. The clergy, the lay faithful, the religious come together in unity and in communion to our Archbishop to celebrate with him the achievements that we have had all through the year. So, how is it important to our people? You may ask me that, yes, if it is a Sunday business, I can stay at my church and so on and so forth. But we have an obligation also to come and look at our bishop, to come and to pray with him, to come and listen to him, what messages he has for us, and then take it back to our people who have not managed to come, and also not only taking it back, but also do the needful.
Yeah. And then this theme of the celebration, it is like a continuous theme year after year.
It is not a continuous theme, but the archbishop or any bishop, if it is a diocese, he can think of running a theme for more than 2 years, or for more than 1 year, just because of its intent, and just because of what he wants us to have and to follow in that particular time of. Because now you may run a theme for 1 year when actually people have not understood it, or when people have not really gotten the message properly, and they have not really moved with the theme. You can always prolong it to another year until people understand, then he can always choose another theme we can work on. So we are still moving with the same theme.
Okay,
yeah.
Very nice. Now, such celebrations, especially celebrations like these that are of huge magnitude, there is a lot of planning and coordination that goes into it. Take us through, especially you as a leader in the church, really. What have you gone through?
In this particular celebration,
yes,
the Archdiocesan celebration, it is our shepherd that calls us together, like I said. Now, we only help that shepherd to organize. Now, like the clergy have their part, especially in liturgy, to help him organize that day to be so colorful. We, the leaders of the lay faithful, we have our part, especially when it comes to publicize this day and also make arrangements. But still under us, we still have another vibrant committee of the gallant sons and women of Kampala Archdiocese, who come voluntarily together for some like 2 or 3 weeks and start organizing here and there, to see to it that whatever is going to happen that day is done properly. So he invites us, then we start sitting in the meeting. He introduces what he wants us to do on that day. Then we start sitting in the meeting, various kinds of meetings. I've told you the clergy sit in their meetings, the lay faithful sit in their meetings, and still in the lay faithful we have a committee. It is called the Central Organizing Committee. It is really a very wonderful committee that now knows what to do as per these days. Yeah.
The celebrations have been really enormous, properly organized, well attended. What part of the celebrations do you think every year people, the laity, look forward to? Because there's a lot that goes on through the day. I'm
supposed to talk of Mass, but there is also something else. Yeah. Before I talk of Mass, I've told you, now you have seen people marching and very happy. They enjoy marching and dancing around before their clergy. By the way, we do this with our parish priests and other priests in the parishes. So it is very joyful. Then secondly, of course, when you give them something to eat, there is a saying in Uganda, meaning that you make people go hungry, they will never come back. So eating is also something good, and drinking. Then the other important thing is interacting, because like I told you that we come from different places, and you meet different people, and they tell you a number of things that are happening at their places. So this kind of interacting, you come to know what is happening in a different part of the country or different part of the archdiocese. And the other one is more of the genesis, that is networking, that kind of thing. You see, when you come around and meet people, you get a lot of information from other people. Yes. You can connect with jobs, you can connect with prayers, and many other things. So that's what interests people always when they come together. Very nice.
So this basically promotes a sense of unity and community within the parishes. And that takes the Catholic community a long way.
Yeah, I understand. Like this one becomes the climax.
Yeah.
We first do that right from our basic Christian communities. That is where our unity and communion starts from. Then we join up with other members in sub-parishes, then sub-parishes, deaneries, and vicariates. Then we climax that at the diocese. So it is always easy, and people know, especially those who have been following and been coming, that they know right from the sub-parish they are celebrating such days. A sub-parish day, a parish day, deanery and vicariate, then the climax is the diocesan day. But like I told you, when we reach here, we do a number of activities. And when we do such activities, people are yearning to get again back to another Archdiocesan day to get the same. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure people really can't wait for the next
Of course, especially the match pastors really interested them.
Yes,
yeah.
Very nice. So you talked about the envelope that is given to the Archbishop mostly in May that helps to foster really charity, and then he also is able to help other people out there who he knows their needs specifically. I'm just wondering if today's event had any specific charity component tagged to it, or normally what is done? Does it change from celebration to celebration?
These kind of charities we are really talking about, they are ongoing activities that are happening. For instance, I can talk of Nalukolongo here. One time when we were launching, Sabasumba was launching SAF around July there, he talked about why you want to renovate Nalukolongo. Then we have also another infrastructure in Nkozi, whereby our church went down out there and they are trying to put up another. So some of these charities and some other charities that have even not mentioned around, they are ongoing. It is not that they have happened this week or they have happened this very day, but it is because they are ongoing. And we very much know that Sabasumba in one way or the other helps them in one way or the other as from what we bring to him. Like I told you about that envelope, it is not a must that you have to bring that envelope, but I'm telling you just because people like their church, people like their shepherd, they know what he is doing, and it is vividly seen in a number of departments that really we run in the church. So people come and say thank you, our shepherd. People come and say thank you to our shepherd, and also ask him to continue helping the vulnerable in one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much you put in, but you need to put in something that is bigger than an envelope.
Surely. We saw a lot of participation, especially when it comes to the youth, to the women, families. Why do you think this is important for the growth of the Archdiocese? It
is very important. Like now, when the UBOS people were counting, as you remember, they talked about the youth being a bigger percentage.
Oh, yes.
We have to encourage our youth always to be near the church. We have to encourage our youth to be around the church and to understand the church. And by doing that, we empower them. We empower also the women. We empower other departments. That's why, as you saw them marching, of course, all of them have their own parishes, but they also decided to come and march in their departments, like the Women Guild, the Youth, the Men's Guild, and so on and so forth. So we are trying to help out those individuals to come out and be supported and have a vibrant church.
What are some of the challenges involved in organizing an event of this magnitude?
The challenges involved, first of all, is money. Yeah, first of all, we don't always have money in a cocoon there that we really need to, we just pick out and, but the celebration, as you have seen it, it takes a lot of, and we have to look for it because we have to celebrate. And now looking for the money, where you're going to look for the money, even people, you know, this economy, they have always talked about the economy being a little low, and you know, so looking for the money is to have such celebrations is also a hindrance somewhere, somehow. Then also, another challenge in our parishes, especially those parishes that are very far. This transport business, to and fro, yes, somebody may be out there and wants to come, but he doesn't have transport. And, you know, that is a big hindrance, because here we are asking everybody to come. You see, before, in the Catholic Church, before God, we are equal. So we are asking everybody to come in unity and communion before their bishop. And somebody telling him such a thing, he would love to come. But just because he doesn't have transport, some are sick, you know, they decide to remain there. Yeah. But this is the very time you come, we are supposed to come around and look and see and share and listen to our shepherd. Yeah.
Is it too early right now to ask about any future plans for the next Archdiocesan Day that's going to happen next year?
It is not too early. You see, when you want to plan properly, you start immediately after the function.
Yes.
So now, when we are going to sit in what we call an evaluation meeting, and we shall look at such challenges, and we shall look at what we have done good, such that we add in. And I'm very sure one of the things that we are going to talk about, and also add some grip of it, some grip of it. Yes. Is this much past? Yes, is this much past? Secondly, I think we are going to increase on our social media. You see, the problem with the social media, sometimes we put on things we are not supposed to put on, and then we lose meaning. And you see, like me, if I have my phone and open, and I see a lot of messages that are useless, I may even lose an important message by deleting them. So I think we are going to find a way through our leaders, right from the Kabondo to the Archdiocese, how we can send links and activities to publicize such a day, and activities that go before the day. Yeah.
Very nice. As we come to a conclusion, you will leave us with your closing remarks, the words of encouragement. You have, your committee has made a wonderful celebration, and you could just give us a word of encouragement there before we can set off.
Yeah, I understand we are in the post-COVID. I think somehow we are still in the post-COVID. I'm only encouraging our people that we are even out of that as time goes on. We should try to come back to church physically and attend. Secondly, we should try as much as possible that whenever we get such information, we read it and act accordingly. Thirdly, let us be vibrant in our churches. Let us not listen to people who want to divert us from what? The church. We want the church to be one. Like I've told you, when we unite here at the Archdiocese, we unite in communion, such that we are one person, we are one group in the Archdiocese. And I want to encourage our dear listeners, those who are not Catholics, please to join us also. We feel good when you people come and be with us as we are celebrating. We shall always also come to your area, because the church is one, much as you see these kind of divisions, but the church is one. We want us to be one, united, and that is the only way even our country will go forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nsobuga John Billington, actually, Deputy Head of the Liti Kampala Archdiocese, and it has been really encouraging. Thank you so much for making time. And we thank you for staying with us as we discuss some of the pertinent issues and matters that are headlining in our country. My name is Nora Sende. Till then, we'll meet again. For now, have yourselves a blessed week ahead.
Yeah, thank you.